What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are having a great day. My name's Anthony, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Perennial Spotlight, this time on oregano. Let's go. Just like the last one where I talked about bee balm, I will post a link down in the description below for that one if you would like to go back. But we are going to be talking about what is it, how to grow it, why do I put it in my garden, and is there any possible medicinal uses? Now, what is it? Real simple. It is an aromatic herb in the mint family. You can usually find it growing naturally around the Mediterranean. There are three different types I really wanted to talk about, and that is Mexican, Spanish, and Greek. Usually you're going to see one or the other, either Mexican oregano or Greek oregano, mainly because Mexican oregano is actually very, very powerful. It's actually almost too powerful, so it really does flavor up a lot of dishes a lot differently than a Greek oregano will, because it is a little bit less intense, a little bit more subtle in flavor, so it's not quite as overpowering. So when you see the difference, that's basically all it is the strength of flavor. How to grow it? It's really, really simple actually. If you're one of those people that doesn't really have a good green thumb, oregano might actually be very good for you, since it doesn't like having wet feet. If you forget to water every so often, especially in the middle of the summertime, it's actually very forgiving. It likes it kind of dry. It's also a very big fan of a very sunny spot. Unless you're in obviously South Florida or the desert, then it's going to burn any kind of plant. But for the most part, it likes a really sunny spot and actually pretty dry feet. I also like to say that if you are in zone 7B and up, like warmer, it's an evergreen. It's a shrub, so it's going to stay green throughout the course of the entire winter time. You don't have to do anything to it. Now, if you are in a more northern climate, you're going to want to mulch it obviously and cut it back so it doesn't completely freeze up and die that way. You can put it in a cold frame, no big deal. But if you're in a warmer climate like myself, you can have it all year round, and it's great. Now, my favorite part, why do I grow it? Simple. I'm a foodie. I like eating. I like eating good, and since I like to make a lot of pizza, I like to make a lot of pastas and Italian dishes, obviously having oregano is a no-brainer. But it's not just for Italian dishes, because you can also add it to chicken or fish. It's a really good seasoning just for that as well. It doesn't have to be any kind of pasta dish with tomatoes. However, that's what I usually use it for. However, I wanted to go ahead and add oregano is also loaded with fiber, vitamin K, manganese, iron, vitamin E, and calcium. So it does have, some nutritional benefits as well. It's not, you can eat one of those, 1 or 2 sprigs, and you're good for the day. But it's a nice supplement for the rest of the stuff that you're eating. I also wanted to go ahead and add in here, when you're cooking with it, if you're using dried oregano, then it's a little bit more forgiving and you could add it earlier in the dish. But if you're using fresh oregano from the garden, then you're going to want to add it at the end, because if you put it at the beginning, say you're cooking a stew or a pasta sauce and you're cooking it for a while, if you put it at the beginning, you're going to cook out all that flavor, because it's only so good for so long. So if you're going to say put it into a pasta dish or a pizza sauce, whatever, you make the sauce, throw it in at the end right before you use it. That way you can really maximize the benefit and you can actually still taste it. And finally, medicinal uses. Oregano has been around for centuries, actually more like millennia, for 2 reasons. Not only is it because it flavors food, but because it has actually been used as medicine. Traditionally, it is used to soothe skin sores, muscle aches, asthma, cramping, diarrhea, indigestion, and colds. It has actually been proven that it is antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral. It has those properties because inside the leaves you will see thymol and Carvacrol. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it fights staph infection. Those 2 things have actually been studied recently, as of 2019, by, I can't remember the university, I'll have to check down below. I'll put a link down in the description for that, where it actually has been used and it works against certain strains of Staphylococcus bacteria. So the medicinal uses are there. They've been traditionally used for it. They've also been saying that you can make oregano oil to help with asthma or bacterial infections in your lungs. I like to use it for my chickens, because when they get locked up over the course of the wintertime, they might develop some sort of coop cough. So if you can put that and dilute it in some water or in their feed, then it usually treats that pretty well. I really haven't noticed anything after that, but oregano oil is used for that as well. So when it comes down to medicinally, it's much more effective if you put it into an oregano oil, but you can also use it as a tea, or make it into a tea, get it to that steam and inhale it to help soothe whatever's going on in your lungs. So just keep that part in mind. There you have it. I really do think that everybody should have some oregano in the garden somewhere, because one thing I didn't mention anywhere in the video, it is actually a very good companion plant as well. So because it's so aromatic, when you grow it next to something else, it really does confuse the bugs and the bad things that might go after. So something like a tomato or a pepper. So if you have it right next to it, the smell given off by the oregano will most likely confuse those pests, and they may not land on your tomato plant or your cucumber plant or whatever. So it's really good to plant next to things because it does keep away a lot of pests. So that's one thing I also wanted to add here. If you learned something from this video, please give me that thumbs up. It really does help out my channel, and I will catch you on the next one. All right, bye.